It's just hard to sometimes to, I guess, to believe that what you're doing has validity enough to translate to a big enough audience you know, because it's connected with making a living, I think, is the problem, some of the problem. That, you know, well, maybe it's not good enough to sell or to get enough attention to that people want to buy it, that kind of thing. It gets, you know, complicated there or confusing there. Like, does it have to sell to be good? Not necessarily. But a lot of it is just being heard, and getting heard has been a difficult thing for me, even with a record label. My wife tells me all the time, you know, you need to be more self-confident and secure in your songwriting and all. But I mean, I think I can write, but you know, it's an ongoing process of feeling self-validated, because I haven't really been validated in the big world outside. I've never had a hit record, for instance. I don't have that many people covering my stuff. So I have to come up with some self-validation, and it comes and goes. So I know sometimes I've written a good song, a really good song, and I'm proud of all the stuff I've done. But there's a lot of, when you don't get much back from the big world, sometimes there's doubt that creeps in, you know. Well, maybe this is no good, maybe I'm not really a songwriter, not up to whatever. But, you know, and generally I feel okay. I feel like I've been doing these solo things in front of Alejandro Escovedo in Florida, and, you know, people really respond. They don't necessarily know who I am, but they respond to the songs. So it's good stuff, I think. You know, being kind of a studio guy was validating, you know, that to be a working studio musician for the first time, really, because before that I was just doing my own demos. You know, you pay for or you get somebody to let you in the studio. But here I was getting paid to be a sax player or whatever I was doing at the time, and that felt really good. Of course, there wasn't a hell of a lot of studio work. It was just a project here, a project there, and the rest of the time I was out on the road with people. So, but I love playing in the studio. It's one of my favorite things to do. And it was good to be, you know, one of the gang a little bit, you know. Because I really wasn't playing much sax until I got called upon to play some sax. I was the lead singer in a group, and I kind of played sax on the side, so I had to kind of get my chops together to go out with Greg and things like that. And so, you know, there's always insecurities there for me. But it was a confidence builder, and it gave me, you know, going out with Greg gave me some chops and some credibility to do some other things, like with Sea Level and Levon Helm, and people like that would call me after that. You know, I kind of got a name for playing sax. I ended up doing most of my work on sax for a long time. With my band with Davis in Athens, I was playing keyboards and some sax. But when I got to Macon, you know, Chuck was doing all the keyboard work, so I was more of a sax guy. You know, and with Cowboy, I played keyboards and sax, and with Greg, I played sax. You know, so, and I would play some organ or something with Chuck, but he was covering the keys. You know, he had that covered in the Middle Georgia area or the whole South. You know,
now
so,
the world.
Yeah, he had that covered. So I ended up being known more for my sax playing than anything. But I always had my own band too, pretty much through that whole time, and always was writing, you know, for myself and for whoever I was with the whole time too.